going to show you how to make this super cute little pumpkin. So it'll look approximately like this and be approximately this big. If you are able to sign up, you will have received a packet with several things, including 12 orange strips, 2 green leaves, 1 piece of green paper, 2 green pipe cleaners, and that would be it. The only thing you need to finish this craft is going to be some glue. A glue stick should work if it's sticky enough, but you may want to try something else, and a hole puncher. You can also grab a stapler if you want to staple everything together at the end to make it more secure, but you really don't need to. This little thing that I made is held together entirely by glue stick, and that's it. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make this cute little pumpkin. So in order to make your cute little pumpkin, what you're going to need to do is grab this instruction sheet that I put together, and then you're going to want to grab your pieces of orange paper. So these. What you're going to do is you're going to take 2 of these orange pieces and some glue or a stapler if you're really worried about it staying together, and you're just going to glue them together. Like that. So you end up with a long 2-piece of paper. Then you're going to grab another piece, really 2, and you're going to make a little cross over it. So we're going to glue one down this way, and then one down on top of it. And as you can see, we kind of have a little cross. You're going to take the remaining 8 pieces of orange paper and you're going to glue them down. Try to get them equidistant from each other, and kind of think of it like you're putting down the numbers on a clock. You want them all equally spaced in all 12 positions. Like so, and they're going to overlap on each other. You're of course going to glue down each and every one of these, but I just wanted you to see that they have this sort of equidistant spoke look. And now I'm going to glue them all down. Okay, so now I've got all 12 of them down. You can take something heavy and place it on top if you want to try to make sure that it lays flat. You can also take a few minutes to let it stick, but if you feel secure about it, you can move on to this next part. So once we have our little sun spoke, kind of like this, you're going to want to go to the edges of the orange paper. Let's try to get one in camera. There we go. And you're going to want to grab your hole punch. And you're going to go around and you're going to punch a hole into each and every one of these ends of orange paper. Just like that. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's what you should do now. All right, So when you have all of your little holes punched in, that's when you're going to take this green rectangle. This is going to be your stem. And you want one end of the stem to be skinnier than the other one. And to do that, you kind of just roll it up tightly at one end. And leave it a little loose at the other. And you should wind up with something that looks approximately like this. You want to make sure that the skinnier end can fit through one of these holes. Looks like it's a little big, so I'm going to try to roll it a little bit tighter right there. Alright, that looks like that'll fit. And at this point, you can either glue it in place or just kind of let it be, because it will actually end up holding itself together pretty darn well without any glue or staples or anything. You can choose any one of these spokes, it doesn't matter which, but you're gonna put the stem in from the outside in, so it looks like that. And then you're gonna grab the spoke immediately next to it. It doesn't matter if you go right or left, crosswise or countercrosswise. You just need to make sure you grab one of the spokes next to it. You're gonna put a little bit of glue around the hole, and then you're going to put it underneath the stem. And you end up with something that looks like that. So for the rest of this pumpkin, all you're going to do is you're going to grab the next strip over, put a little bit of glue around the hole, and then thread it into the stem, press it to make sure that it's holding, and move on to the next one. So that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what I encourage you to do now. Take as much time as you need. And so you'll end up with your little pumpkin. As you can see, my little pumpkin is a little bit lopsided, but that's okay. If you don't want it to be lopsided, I do recommend making sure that all of the spokes are equidistant and they're all like exactly in the center and not leaning anywhere, because that really does help. But you can also squish it down a bit like I just did, and you'll get something that ends up being a little straighter. So if your pumpkin's a little catterwampus, just kind of squish it down gently like that, and it'll help it spring into the correct shape. You can also, if you want, put a staple right there to keep it all together if you are worried about it popping out. But honestly, all that glue and the presence of the stem are going to keep it together surprisingly well. There we go. At this point, you're going to take your green pipe cleaners, and you're going to twist them however you want. I just wrap them around a finger, and you get a nice little twist. And then you push whatever end you want directly into the stem. So See, I didn't need to use any glue, but I got it to go in. If you're also really having trouble pushing it in through the hole for whatever reason, you can also use glue. Although for something like a pipe cleaner, I would definitely recommend using like a glue stick or super glue, something much stronger. And we're just going to repeat that same process with our second pipe cleaner. And so now we have both little tendrils. And our last thing that we need to do is to glue on our little leaves. So you just take a little bit of glue on them, place them wherever it is you'd like. There we go. And you are all done with your pumpkin. And so that is how you make this little pumpkin. This is the first one that I showed you that I made earlier, and this is the one I just made today. In the video, it looked like a little bit like it wasn't straight, but when I hold it in my hand, you can see that it looks perfectly fine. You can also always just kind of like prop it up against something if you don't quite like how it sits. If there's space in it, which there looks like, you can place an unlit candle. I do not recommend placing a lit candle in it, but you could place like an electric tea light or an unlit candle or just kind of anything. You can, if you have big old googly eyes, you can add googly eyes, but otherwise this is just your cute little pumpkin that you can now just display wherever you like and get into the sort of fall seasonal feeling. So I hope you enjoyed that little craft, and thanks for stopping by.